So hi everyone, I just wanted to do a video. I was just about to do my hair to sort of talk about what I'd actually had done to it. So recently I got the Keratin Smoothing Treatment done to my hair and my hair is very thick, coarse and naturally wavy and almost curly type hair. I also had been processed before, I had highlights, so it was fairly dry and in need of a good sort of treatment. I also on the same day got a full head of foils. My hair is naturally dark and it took a good couple of hours to actually do the full head of foils. And obviously is naturally damaging to the hair. But I have sort of read different things. You can either get the foils done a couple of weeks before you get the straightening or smoothing treatments, or get them done the same day. They did actually recommend that I do them on the same day. And also it's not permanent. It's permanent in the fact that it can last 3 to 4 months, but they do recommend that you go back after 3 months, particularly with my very thick stubborn hair, to go back after 3 months and get it done again. And supposedly it is gets better or improves with time, so it'll get softer, it'll get straighter, it'll get a lot easier to handle as you do other treatments. I mean, there are ones out there where you can get, I think it's like the diamond or the thermal, I think even Japanese thermal treatments where you can actually get it permanently straightened, and that can last from 4 to 6 months. I didn't want to get something like that done, not just because of the price, that can run in the hundreds of dollars, but also that can be quite damaging to the hair. I was getting the falling done on that day. I thought I'd get that done, try the smoothing treatment and see how I feel about it. But pretty much the whole process of getting a full head of foils, having one person sort of work on me through the day, actually took a good 7 hours to do. So I got a haircut, I got everything sort of done as well. And because I was getting the foils, they had to wash it out and put the toner in and wash it again. Then they had to fully dry it, practically fully dry it, before they put on the smoothing treatment. So that was all that extra time that it took there, and they sort of apply it piece by piece to the hair, so that treatment. It's actually like a very liquidy gel consistency, quite strong, the smell as well, so but not overpowering. But they did put like a peppermint shampoo in the hair to sort of try and neutralise that smell, so just be aware of that if you are getting it. If you are sensitive to smells, but I'm fine. Like, I am quite sensitive to some smells, but I didn't get any headaches or any bad effects from that. But it was just the time consuming, so it'd be a lot quicker. Obviously, it could be about 90 minutes. They leave the treatment on, typically for sort of mid to long hair. It's about 90 minutes, so hour and a half. And then obviously depending on sort of how thick, how long, how stubborn your hair is, and what other treatments you get done, it could take 3 hours or more, just depending. But mine was obviously because of the full head of foils. So yeah, I wasn't quite aware that it'd have to be fully dried. Then they apply the treatment. You sit there for your whatever, 90 minutes or so. Then it gets washed off. Then they have to sort of dry it again. And it's actually the heat that sort of, I suppose, locks it in, locks in that keratin. Well, she tried to explain it to me. It pretty much helps the treatment to work. So it's actually the heat. And it doesn't give you instantly straight hair. Mine has still quite a natural wave to it, or quite a natural looking wave to it, but it actually got rid of the frizz. I will include a shot just after I had my hair sort of dried and how it sort of looks like, or frizzy. That was sort of the before shot. And yes, so it pretty much cuts down that frizz, should help with your sort of your drying time. So pretty much if you're trying to sort of naturally blow dry your hair straight or use a curling iron, it's not going to be so sort of buffy, so uncontrollable, and it'll be a lot smoother and softer pretty much, and more manageable. That's what they're sort of aiming for with that treatment. And as they said, as you consequently get more treatments over time, it should help your hair as well. But it's still like a gentle wave to it as well. And then of course they had to blow dry it, a little bit of thermal, or the iron, to help it get straight, sort of how it is at the moment as well. And I must admit, it is a lot easier to manage when I'm straightening my hair and that as well. I mentioned just the hair products. I actually got the Trichovedic, can't really pronounce it, but it's that type of keratin smoothing treatment I got. There's different ones out there. There's the Brazilian, there's other types, but I read that this is one of the gentler ones on the hair, and it doesn't have formaldehyde and a lot of the other harsh chemicals that are in other products out there. But yeah. And this is obviously the hair products they suggested to go with it. I thought I'd go out and try it, and then I could obviously talk about it later on. But there's the Hair Wisdom Luxury Shampoo and the conditioner. But I will get back to you once I've used them a little bit more on how I'm going with those. And lastly, the argan oil. This is the Luxury Argan Oil Treatment. I actually got those 3 in a pack for about $67. I think it was supposed to come with a mask, but she put this one in instead. And it's actually like a peachy colour argan oil. But so she just suggested, even if I'm not straightening my hair, just to sort of work it through the ends each day, just to keep applying that sort of oil each day. And I actually find, I thought I would just sort of get greasy and sort of build up on the hair, because I only wash my hair 2 to 3 times a week, obviously just so your natural oils can work through your hair and I'm not damaging it so much, and because it's so thick and it's winter. But it's actually, I hardly notice it, and it just feels like it keeps it extra soft during the day, and it's just so different from being that coarse, stubborn straw that my hair was. And I expected it would, just imagine if I hadn't got the treatment done with that processed floral hair, like my goodness. So I'll take it down. In between, all these stupid things on my hair, in between washes, I do usually use maybe a dry shampoo if I need to. When I had dark hair, I was just using something like the Settle Dry Shampoo, which is the black one, and it's like a little mini one. But I've tried one of the ones I got in the Last Habit box. It's the Bastisse cherry flavoured scented one. This is just the white one. Anyway, let's take it down. But yeah, it's sort of been up all day. I'm just trying to see in the mirror, but I'm not sure if you can sort of see the colour. It is a light browny, you know, only a couple of bits of sort of blonde through it, but it's really just a light warm brown, gold, almost ginger sort of hair. But you can see some of the slight wave, my natural wave is still there. It's still there, so it doesn't completely take it away. But like they said, the more treatments that I'll get, the more will smooth it out. But it just doesn't have that frizz, and I've had my hair rained on and all that, and it still doesn't have the frizz. But what she said is that the more that you heat it is actually better. Apparently clients have come and said, oh, they wash their hair and then it naturally dry and it's still like wavy and curly. But she said when you put that thermal treatment on it, like your hair on, you heat, your blow dry, whatever, it'll help that keratin to go in. So I'm not sure, because I thought it had been washed off when they rinsed it, but apparently it sort of sinks and locks in to the hair, especially with the heat treatment. Really pricey. There's, you know, obviously quicker versions that you can get out there for like $100 or touch-ups, but I got the full one and that was a couple of $100 for it. But I mean, if you shop around, look around, you can get different vouchers and specials online. Of course, go in, talk to the different consultants and that, and sort of make your own mind up and what sort of treatment that you think is best for you. And like I said, there's different types of the smoothing treatment, there's different straightening treatments, there's permanent, the chemical, etc. So what I'll do now, this is just to sort of show you what it's like after I've been wearing it a few days, you know, had it up and haven't sort of straightened it, etc. And that's pretty much what it's like. And then what I'll do is, when I wash my hair, I'll actually show you what it looks like naturally wavy when I dry and when I straighten it. So I'll walk you through all that process so you can sort of see what happens with that. Anyway, stay tuned. Okay, so I've just washed my hair and you can just hopefully see, the light, that my hair has just gone back to its natural sort of wave. That's it naturally there. So it hasn't, the treatment hasn't actually taken any of that natural wave out, but it has sort of smoothed the sort of frizziness and sort of tamed it a little bit. Of course, now I'm going to have to sort of, I've just towel dried it, so I'm going to have to detangle it, because what happens with my hair, because I've straightened it so much, it's so thick, is that it actually just tangles. It goes into the sort of curls, so I don't like to keep that wave. So what I'm using at the moment is just a tangle teaser. You might have seen that bright pink one that I got. That was only about, I think, $12 or something like that. You can get them at different beauty salons or hair salons. I got this tangle teaser. I also got talked into it. And honestly, it's exactly the same. I thought it was a little bit softer, but it's pretty much the same as that one, but it was twice the price. But as you can see, what you do is just sort of tangle out, especially for wet hair, get those sort of tangles out, and then that way I can sort of start to dry it better. And work sort of the products into it, like the argan oil and that. But anyway, I'll leave you there and I'll go and start drying. Okay, hi again. So what I've actually done is I detangled it with the tangle teaser. Then I've just sort of towel dried it a little bit more, and then just put a little bit of heat on it with the blow dryer, just to sort of tame it down a little bit. But what would normally have happened by now is that my hair would have just gone woof before the treatment, especially since I had all the foils done to my hair, so it would have really fizzed up. It's still a little bit poofy. It has obviously still got a bit of volume for not doing anything to it, but it's just my natural hair, but it's a lot smoother. So far so good. And also I haven't actually done any round brushing to it yet. This is just from the heat from the blow dryer for about a minute. So it sort of just started to sort of smooth and straighten up a little bit. And then what I will do now is go through with the round brush and start to blow dry it. And then I'll smooth it off with the hair iron. So see it again, came back again. So what I've been doing, I obviously just sort of section my hair and start to blow dry it. And this is my little round brush, but I don't get it perfect because it honestly is so thick, and every time a hairdresser see my hair, they're like, wow, it is. You really don't appreciate how thick it is and how hard it is to round brush it. It takes an hour if I was doing it properly. So I just sort of do it a little bit just to sort of get all that sort of moisture out, sort of dry it, and sort of at least get the tangles out and sort of get it smooth. And it really has, I mean, like, again, if I was blow drying it or even round brushing it, it would still be very buffy, very frizzy. It's a lot smoother than it was, and I'm looking forward to the next treatment and then hopefully getting it even smoother again. So it is sort of cutting down that time. Also, it's not as hard to sort of work the brush through because it's hard holding the hair dry and trying to round brush it as well. So you can still see a little bit of the kink, the natural wave in there, but it is just a lot easier to sort of brush and manage. So once I've sort of done the rest of the hair, what I will do is then work through with the hair iron to actually straighten it thoroughly and sort of smooth it down a little bit more. But so far, so good again. So I've just dried it, so I'm going through and straightening my hair. So obviously I've sectioned it. Now this is that new Cloud 9 hair iron that I mentioned. This is the wide one. I don't know, I'm still in two minds about whether it's sort of worth the moolah, sort of worth it, but it has been a good hair iron. But I've actually got it on, they recommended that I should have it on about 150 for most hair types, but for my thick hair on 170. And not to go, I can actually go up to 200 or more, but just to leave it on about 150, 170. So I've just been going through. Obviously I'm just doing it in little sections. You can still see the bits where I haven't done it. So I'll start on this side, and this one I haven't even used the hair iron on it, so it's still quite woofy. But again, not as frizzy as it would normally be. I wish I had taken some good shots of before I'd actually done the treatment. But they did say when you're going through, obviously just a little section at a time, just pull it down slowly and gently. But don't slam the plates together like a sandwich press. Just sort of hold them just against the hair very lightly and just work it all the way down. Or if you do have quite frizzed ends, maybe just sort of work it slowly down and then clamp off there, or start to do your curl however you do it. But at the end, I'll shot through to that. Okay, so I'm about 95% done with the straightening on the iron. So it's a lot sort of obviously straighter and smoother. And the only product that I've put on it is the argan oil through it. And that was after I towel dried it, before I started blow drying it. So that's the only product. But it definitely has taken a lot less, or seems a lot less time than it would normally. And it's just so much easier to brush through, run my fingers through and everything, even after blow drying or curling it, or with the straightening iron. Because what normally happened again, my hair would be just trying to go back to its natural wave. But you can still see it's got a little bit of a kink in it again. I haven't finished completely, but I'm going to just sign off now. It's getting a bit hot in here. I want to have a drink. But yeah, so far so good with that. And the product, don't necessarily think you do need to spend that extra money on the shampoos and conditioners, but again, that was part of the package that I did, so I will stick to it and try and use it all up. And again, the argan oil seems very comparable to any other argan oil out there that I've used. So I'll keep you updated how I'm going with the filling iron, with the straightening iron as well. If you do want to see a separate video, please let me know, and take care.